Or maybe I won't. Anyway, you guys, what we're doing today is, obviously we're starting a new project, right? And so whenever we start a new project, I do a lesson for a while. So it's good not to be absent on those days, and you know what those days are, right? Like you're here, so I'm not scolding you, I'm scolding the people who aren't here. Anyway, what we're gonna start with is just a couple rules. Don't touch anything. These setups are going for the next class too, so I've arranged, which is super wonderful. I've never actually got to do that before with the other teachers, since there's only 2 classes this semester. So they're gonna use the same setup at the same time. So that's just so much easier for us. We don't have to tape anything or worry about it, right? So don't move these, right? Don't bump these, and don't trip over any cords. Just be careful, okay? And this just goes on with 1 click. So if you ever need to work in here, I'm gonna set it at number 3. I think that works. And then you just click 1 click down there on the cord so you can come in and work, right? Okay, but for now, today we're going to be flexible about where we're sitting, right? I really want you to get up, and actually it's a requirement you do 4 sketches from 4 different angles. Okay, and then we'll talk about them. So I brought Vine, because I really do want you to do it in Vine. You can do it in a charcoal pencil, but I prefer you not to do it in a pencil, just for a couple of reasons. See these sketches? They're not very fancy, right? But I actually did the sketch first and then put in my frame. And that's a good thing to do, because you can decide how much room and negative space you want it to be that way once you get everything arranged. And then you don't have to think about that later. And it gives you more flexibility. So the minimum is 3 objects. And I don't want any more than 4. This is the only one, you'll see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. This is 1 object. I mean, it can be 1 object because it's the pair, they're on top of each other. To have you not paint what's behind it. It's very important that you don't do that. You have to be eliminated, okay? So each one of these is from one of these areas, and I've eliminated everything that's behind it, okay? So this one, which is over there, I took from 2 different angles, right? And the most important thing is this entire composition is 1 triangle, right? You see how that's 1 triangle? That's the entire composition. So that's quite simple in a way. So first you could even draw the triangle, and then you could figure out the objects within it. And with this exercise, you don't have to say, I don't want to go above here and I don't want to go below there, because you're going to put the frame around it. This one also, it's 1 triangle. That's it. That's the entire composition on this one. Is 1 triangle. So the assignment right now is to do 4 sketches that are fast. And I'll time you. Like you have a time limit to do 4. Okay? Because we're not going to spend a ton of time on this. This is not pretty. It's not pretty. I have no gorgeous contour in here for my contour drawers. I only have just general shape. So you have an option of using a Vine, which I provided, and you can put it back, or a charcoal pencil. But if you use a regular pencil, you're gonna get too tight, I feel like. And you don't really need to erase. You can just kind of draw it in. So if you feel like you can handle being move fast with a pencil, you can, but these are my preferences. And this drawing paper's fine, so I brought some for you guys, okay? So this is newsprint. You grab 2 of these, if you don't have it yourself, and 2 images on each page, because I actually like thumbnails this big. Some people do thumbnails and they do like 10 of them that are tiny. So you're not limited to 4, and you're not limited to this big. This is what I prefer, okay? Because I like to see things bigger, and some people do well with smaller. So you can have smaller, but it has to just be the same concept, okay? And you can do more than 4. 4 is the minimum. And you're gonna walk around, and the seat you're at right now is not your seat. Yes? Okay, very good. color harmony. Do you see how this is color harmony?
Yes.
Because I made this color into this color, into this color, into this color. It's just different amounts of it. And it's all going to be color harmony because before I did that, I took one value that was not the darkest dark, but the mid-tone of the dark, and put it through the whole piece. In fact, if I didn't spend more time, it would have been everywhere. Everywhere that's dark. Do you see how I need it? Yeah? Okay. Now I can take this one and I can bring it down. And then I could say, oh, I want to really, pop this little area, but that's too bright. Why is that too bright?
It's very saturated.
It doesn't work. I could make this work, but this is not how you make it work. It's doing something there, and this is not what it's doing. Okay? But that's what I think it's doing. And that's what you're going to think it's doing. But that's not what it's doing. Okay? It's so important. I mean, there's so many things here to teach that I can't get it all in this one setting. That's why I'm going to paint with you, and we're going to come back and talk about what I'm doing. But this is very important. Don't do that. Okay? Why? You can't do that. All right? And you're going to do it, and then I'm going to come over and yell at you and say, you can't do that. Okay? Because there's a reason you can't do it. It's because that's not how to get that. You need to work from dull to bright. So your brightest thing has to be the last thing you do. This cannot be the case. So you have to actually just kind of make room for it later. Okay, I'm gonna make room for it mentally in my head. Not gonna put it in now. Okay, so that's good to know. Let's move to just a different area. So I would spend more time here. You get that point. All of this is kind of this color in here, right? And then as it comes towards the other light, the white light, it's coming towards the white light, it's turning more yellow. So I'm gonna go get my yellow brush. See, I have a yellow brush, so I don't have to even change my brush. Don't change your brush, okay? So now I'm just gonna find a neutral yellow that's kind of in here. And I can't see till I lay it down. And it is more pink in here than yellow. And it's more yellow over here. I might actually find that this yellow is popsicle color, so what would I do?
Add purple?
I'd add a tiny, tiny bit of purple to that popsicle yellow, and done. Yeah? Done. It's fixed, but not too much purple. No, you don't even notice it. An artist would not even notice the change, but you will, because it will become earthy instead of popsicle-y, right? It's very important when you do people's faces, because nobody has popsicle colored cheeks, right? Or skin. Pasty with popsicle. Okay. All right, anyways. So I'm gonna go down here and yellow brightens everything. So I'm gonna play with the yellow, but I do actually wanna put purple in my yellow. And I didn't think about that before. I didn't really notice that yellow being popsicle-y until I saw the orange being popsicle. That's more obvious, right? It even got by me. And I love color. So whenever you take out a yellow and you mix a yellow pile, you just throw in a tiny bit of purple in your brush, and it's not very much. And then all of a sudden, you neutralize it, okay? It's like zapping it. You zap it. And by doing that, you can add more white, so you can get it lighter again, but it's more of a yellow that's an earth tone and is more cooperative with your piece. Okay. And if I like the color that I just put on, I'm gonna find everywhere else I like it, and I'm gonna go around and put it there too. Because the trick is to make this painting, this lady white, without making her white. But don't make her yellow. Don't make her yellow, and don't make her pink, and don't make her blue, and don't make her white. Yes? Neutralize everything. Neutralize everything, and you can do it. And every time you come, see how white that is? I'm not gonna do that white at all, ever. That's not happening. I'm gonna pick a color, and I'll start to adjust my eyes, and I'll start to adjust the painting to different whites. So, and then I'll start to have a relationship with my palette. So I'll know where all the different whites are. The cool whites, the hot whites are on, because there's so many whites, right? It's a hard thing to deal with. So you have to have a ton of white piles with yellow, with pink, and the red, and every time you have a yellow or an orange, you have its opposite, neutralizing it, zapping it, just a tiny bit. Yes, is that clear? And then every time I come up to a spot, and I see that this color, there's a mid-tone here. So I'm not going to just take this white all the way over here like I do with my darks. I treat my whites different than I treat my darks, right? That if this was a dark area, I would make it all one color because I bounce it. White, you don't bounce, okay? So I actually have to change the color to find something that's between there and even more. So I have all these piles already made on my palette. I don't have to go mixing anything. I just pick from them. And I can find a color that is a stair step. From here, and a stair step to here even. And then, I see I like that. It works really well. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna put it in other places too. This is a nice cool, it cools the white. See how it cools the white? And so now I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna say, oh, where does my white need to be cool? My white has to be cool there. Why does my white have to be cool there?
It's closer to the cool light.
It's going behind. Anything that gets further is cooler. Anything that gets closer is hotter, no matter what you think. Okay? Even with these lights, no matter what you think, if it's closer, it's brighter. The light hits it stronger. Okay? Is that understood? I also think this would be a good transition for here. So you see how I transitioned it, and I can just blend that. So blending edges is not the same as blending. Now, I didn't do this. Okay, now I've lost it. Why did I lose it? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Did I do anything wrong?
You blended too big of an area.
Yeah, I blended the whole thing into one color. I lost my transition because it's a subtle, yes, thank you. I lost my transition. So now I have to go back and I have to repaint this mother I can't even get it back. It's gonna be so hard to get it back. I shouldn't have done that, right? Do you see how whites are different than darks? The dark you can put in the whole negative of the shadow space because you're bouncing those lights back in, okay? The light, you have to be subtle and you only blend the edge. And when I mean the edge, that's where this color touches this color, not the whole thing together. It doesn't make it look better, okay? Should I stop here? Yes, we're good? Some people want more, some people want less. Okay, one more thing and then I'll stop. One more thing, okay? Because I moved really slowly here, so I would move faster. If I was alone, I'd just do it because I have it in my head. But everything that I just told you, you should have in your head now. And if you don't, I'll put it there when I see you. Yeah. The next thing I need to do after I kind of do this, I have to pick a background color. I don't get an option. I'm not leaving my background like this, okay? So I have to pick something, and guess what? I can pick anything in the whole wide world. I just don't want anything that's lighter than this. I don't think that would help me. If I had a white background, that will not help me. Why would that not help me? Johan, why would that not help me? To have a white background. Or would it help me? Would a white background help me or not help me with this white object?
No.
Why?
Because you have to compare with surrounding, the color of surrounding.
Yeah, I have to be able to compare it. And I want this the whitest thing.
So if you make it white, it looks more colorful.
Then this becomes popsicle. And we're trying to not do a popsicle. If I make the background white, it will be impossible. No earth color could save my day. Okay? Right? So don't go lighter. You can go darker. And don't go neutral. I mean, go between the darkest and the lightest. Like so, what I'm saying is you can pick any color you want, but it has to be the correct value. Right? You understand? So I can make it blue, red. It has to be the right value. But if I ever use blue, what am I using? Ever. Orange in it. Purple. Ever. Yellow. If I'm using yellow, purple. Never leave your partner at home.
Even if it's a dog.
It can be your dog.
Yeah.
Can't be
You always
trusted
have
alone.
somebody in life to talk to.
Your best buddy.
Okay, so I can pick any color, that's my point. I think I'm gonna pick a gray. That's what I want to do. I want to pick a gray-ish color. I didn't put black on my palette. I might put black on my palette. I don't like a ton of black on my palette because everything here will turn green, but I know how to use black. And you guys will do too. It's just I don't trust you yet. I will trust you. Some of you I'll trust. Right? The ones that listen to me? Okay. You know who you are. And the ones that don't, they're fine too. They're just, I don't trust them. Okay, so, yeah, I can just pick any color I want. Yeah? Maybe a warm, maybe a brown. I'm thinking browns, grays. I'm not sure yet. I play with it. I'll spend some time playing with this. And it doesn't have to be accurate. Like, it doesn't have to be my final thing at this moment in time. But what I'm gonna do is pick a color I sort of like, or at least the value that it's gonna be, and then I'm going to just go up around, so I don't have to go past here really with it, kind of get an idea of what it is, and same with the bottom. Because I really want this, do you see how much this background color plays a part in the painting? Yes? It could be any color you want. Sky blue, right? And then she's standing out, and it becomes more like a 50s painting. Right? Or whatever, like this literally can become an entirely different painting by the background color. Just make it neutral, neutralize it. All you have to do is zap all your colors, and you're fine. Okay, we're good? And I can change my mind 5 times on this, which I will. Okay? Okay, start with that. You have a lot to start with. Start with your drawing. Take my stuff, go spray it. Whatever you want, don't do it that way. Okay?